Hello everyone, welcome to a new series of videos on appeals and revisions under goods and services tax. So from this video onwards, we will discuss about the provisions relating to appeals and the provisions relating to revisions under GST. So before moving to the provisions regarding all these, first of all, I would like to mention what do you mean by appeals? Appeal is an application to a higher court for a reversal of the decision of a lower court. It arises when there are many legal disputes. So, at the time of legal disputes, a normal taxpayer can approach a higher court for a reversal of the decision of a lower court. So, we will see who all are the higher and who all belongs to the lower part. So here is the hierarchy in case of appeals. So in this process, the hierarchy starts from adjudicating authority. From adjudicating authority, we have first appellate authority, appellate tribunal, high court, and then at last we have Supreme Court at the top level. So who is this adjudicating authority? Adjudicating authority is any authority who is competent to pass an order or decision under the Goods and Services Tax Act. Whoever passes an order or whoever passes a decision or makes a decision comes under the category of adjudicating authority. It does not include the board, the first appellate authority, and the appellate tribunal, except from these category of persons, others can be classified under adjudicating authority. So, any order or decision passed under the Act is known as an act of adjudication. For example, uh, to point out the act of adjudication, we can quote the example of cancellation of registration, for instance. So, cancellation of registration is an order or it is a decision passed under the GST Act. So, this is an act of adjudication. So, another example like best judgment assessment, imposing penalties, all these can be classified or included under an act of adjudication. So, here we have an adjudicating authority. So, that adjudicating authority may be described as an authority who is competent to pass an order. So, if a particular person who is competent enough to pay or who is liable to pay the tax under GST system feels that a particular order is not appropriate, that can be in the case of related to tax payment, the amount of tax payment or the rate of tax or any procedures, it can be anything. So, if that particular person is not satisfied with that order or decision, then he can go against this order, and that application against this particular order can be termed as appeal. So I hope the term appeal is clear for you and it is familiar to you now. So from now on, we'll see the general provisions regarding the appeals to appellate authority. So to start with section 107, we will discuss in brief the process or procedures or how the flow of appeals happens under GST system. So any person who is aggrieved by the decision or order passed under the GST Act or the SGST Act or UTGST Act by an adjudicating authority, he can give an appeal to such an appellate authority as may be prescribed within 3 months from the date on which the said decision or order is communicated. So within 3 months of communication of this particular decision or order, such a person should give an appeal. That means the aggrieved person should give an appeal to the proper authorities. Okay. So if that particular aggrieved person is not satisfied with the decision taken by that particular authority in case of an appeal, he can go move to the higher court. He can if that particular person is not was satisfied with the decision of the appellate tribunal, he can go to or approach high court, or directly can approach the supreme court. But there are certain conditions, but still this is the process. Okay. Then, so from now on, we begin a small and brief discussion on how the appeals or how the process of appeals happens under GST system. Okay, so if in some cases the commissioner himself feels that the particular aggrieved person has given an appeal, and that appeal is genuine because that person has pointed out certain things which made this particular commissioner um, believe that he is genuine in his appeal, then this particular commissioner, on his own motion or upon request from the commissioner of state tax or union territory tax, call for and examine the record of any proceeding in which an adjudicating authority has passed any decision or order under this act. So, this commissioner may by himself call for and examine the record of such an order passed by such an adjudicating authority against that aggrieved person. Okay, so the main purpose is it is for the purpose of satisfying himself as to the legality or propriety of the said decision or order, and may by order direct any officer subordinate to him to apply to the appellate authority within 6 months from the date of communication of the said decision or order. So, if he has reasons to believe that the aggrieved person has gone for an appeal because of genuine reasons or genuine backgrounds and surroundings, then this commissioner himself will direct some of any of his officer subordinate to go for an appeal or to apply to the appellate authority on behalf of this aggrieved person. Okay, and this application should be made to the appellate authority within 6 months from the date of communication. Okay, then in the second paragraph, we discuss about the order which was issued in pursuance under subsection 2, wherein pursuance of an order under subsection 2, the authorized officer makes an application to the appellate authority. So the authorized officer means the officer who is subordinate to the commissioner. Okay, so he may or she may makes an application to the appellate authority. Such application shall be dealt with the appellate authority as if it were an appeal made against the decision or order of the adjudicating authority, and such authorized officer where an appellant, and the provisions of this act relating to appeals shall apply to such application. So the commissioner, after going through all the records and examining all the records of the proceedings done by the adjudicating authority regarding that particular order or decision, he may appoint or he may ask his officer subordinate to apply to the appellate authority an appeal within 6 months of time. 6 months from the communication of decision or order. Okay, so this particular officer subordinate files an appeal or goes for an appeal in the same manner of the aggrieved person. So he may go for an appeal to the appellate authority in such a way that such application shall be dealt with the appellate authority as if it were an appeal made against the decision or order of the adjudicating authority. So, if it was a decision against, or this aggrieved person was of the opinion that this is not what I expected, or it was against his will and his desire, and he may go for an appeal, right? So in the same manner, in such a same manner, this officer subordinate will also go for an appeal to the appellate authority. Okay. Then now the appellate authority will look into the issue and will examine what has happened or what is the background of this particular appeal and all. And if he is satisfied that the appellant was prevented by sufficient cause from presenting the appeal within the aforesaid period of 3 to 6 months, as the case may be, and he may allow it to be presented within a further period of 1 month. Okay. So every appeal under this section should be in such form and it should be verified in such manner as may be prescribed in the Act. Then, in two situations, no appeal shall be filed under subsection 1 unless the appellant has paid in full the amount of tax or interest. And second condition or second point is that unless the appellant has paid a sum equal to 10% of the remaining amount of tax in dispute arising from the said order. So, no appeal shall be filed unless the appellant has paid these two amounts. Okay. Then now, where the appellant has paid the amount under the subsection 6, the recovery proceedings for the balance amount shall be deemed to be stayed. And before making any decision or before making any order, the appellate authority shall give an opportunity to the appellant of being heard. So here appellant means the person who gives an appeal. Okay. Then the appellate authority may, if sufficient cause is shown at any stage of hearing of an appeal, grant time to the parties or any of them and adjourn the hearing of the appeal and for certain reasons. So this particular hearing can be adjourned by the appellate authority if there are any sufficient cause and if there is a requirement of more time for that particular aggrieved person, then time will be given and also the hearing of the appeal will be adjourned. Okay, adjourned. Then, now the appellate authority may, at the time of hearing of an appeal, allow an appellant to add any ground of appeal not specified in the grounds of appeal. So, unless that particular point was missed out or omitted and it was not willfully or it was not unreasonably, it was omitted, then he may get a chance to add that particular ground of appeal to the appeal already filed by him. Okay. Then the appellate authority shall, after making such further inquiry, pass such order as it thinks just and proper, confirming, modifying, and annulling the decision or order appealed against, but shall not refer the case back to the adjudicating authority. So, if a particular adjudicating authority has given that decision or order earlier, the decision taken by the appellate authority will not be referred back to the adjudicating authority. Okay. So, if you have understood the meaning of adjudicating authority and appellate authority, you will be clear regarding the provisions we discussed so far. And this final order of this appellate authority disposing of the appeal will be in writing and it will state the points for determination, the decision thereon, and the reasons for such decision. Okay. So, these many provisions or these many procedures will be followed in case of appeal. This is how an appeal works, and this is a brief explanation of how an appeal works. Okay, then the appellate authority shall, where it is possible to do so, hear and decide every appeal within a period of 1 year from the date on which it is filed. So it should be heard and decided within a period of 1 year. And on disposal of the appeal, the authority shall communicate the order passed by it to the appellant, respondent, and to the adjudicating authority. So the communication should be passed, or the communication of an order should be passed to the appellant and respondent without any fail. Okay. So these are the general provisions which I mentioned in the beginning of this video that is followed in the case of appeals of an aggrieved person. Thank you. We'll meet through another video on the next day.